we're live. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 12 of Sportscast ZA. I know we were meant to have David last night, but for whatever reasons, glory to God, I have him today in person. And obviously tomorrow will be episode 13 with Miles Usher, so stay tuned for that one. My guest here doesn't need too much of an introduction. I think for all the cricket lovers around the country, if you know David Rhoda, he played SA under 19 and for various franchises around the world, in England as well as in South Africa. So we look forward to hearing his story today. David, thanks for doing this with us. Really appreciate it.
No, thank you for having me. And no, it's great to be on your show.
No, that's awesome. This is a story I always wanted to tell. Like for me, growing up, playing cricket with you, being younger than you. So that was always something that I looked up towards because you were already ahead of me, and I aspired to be that. Yet I was sort of in the same age category or bracket, playing where you guys were. And I want you to share with us a few stories around how cricket in the early days went. We'll touch a little bit later on with regards to your upbringing, but I want us to touch on your memories, probably some of your best memories that we can think of now. And I want us to start with Ray Jennings. I know I was always afraid to make SA under 19, but yet I wanted to be there. You've been there. What was that like for you?
Yeah, Reza, I think obviously I was fortunate and what an experience. Like to work with Ray Jennings, it was a dream come true. He's obviously one of the best cricket coaches South Africa's ever had.
Yes.
I think his achievements speak for themselves. Not only was he an exceptional and world-class wicketkeeper, probably one of the best wicketkeepers South Africa ever had, but he's the only coach to win the ICC event trophy with the 2014 under 19 Cricket World Cup side. And it's just fantastic. I think his thoughts, the way he takes attention to detail, it changes the game. It provides professionalism. It just makes you think differently about the game. It takes your game to a place where you would never have thought of. And I think it's his implementation of fitness, mental toughness, and always striving for better, not being satisfied with good or great, always breaking the mold. So the experiences with him would be ice baths, cold showers at 4 a.m. in the morning, and obviously the under 19 World Cup in Australia. Just great memories.
No, that's fantastic. For me, like I said, you were somewhat fearful because you knew what it was about at under 19 level, but yet you kept on chipping away to try and get there. So congratulations to you for obviously getting there. And then any memories that you shared with Quentin de Kock?
So obviously, Courtney and I, we were at the same school, at Kenya 27 school, and we played Coke Week together. We went to Cubs Week together, and obviously the under 19 World Cup together. And I think Courtney was just unreal. He was just next level. One of the greatest memories I will always hold is at the World Cup against Bangladesh, opening game, and just the way he destroyed the Bangladesh bowling attack. At that stage, I think they had two guys already playing international cricket. I think it's Tuscan. He's one of the guys.
Tuscan,
And I don't think Tuscan after that day ever forgot about Quentin. It's a lot of fun. His cricket knowledge is next level. When we went to Cubs Week, Quentin was the ranked T20 batsman of the year.
Just
that's
crazy. At school.
That's for him to go to the under 19 World Cup, having him there was just, it provided like comfortability because we knew what he could produce. And Quentin's a guy when form when it's needed.
No, that's awesome. I obviously remember, I was, I think, a year, 2 years younger than Quinny as well. But I got an opportunity to play at under 19 level when he was at under 19 level in the province, and he was the most feared batter, in the country. You would know if you play Cares, you're in trouble, right? So yeah, that must have been an incredible experience to see it firsthand. Not speaking about the Ram Slam and speaking about the sheer authenticity of schoolboy cricket.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think we were privileged really, to grow up in the era we did.
Yeah.
There were so many players in school cricket that have gone on to make it, but the level that it took school cricket to play with Quinton, to play against Quinton, I mean, running up and bowling to Quinton in a first team game, in a Johnny Waite or on a Saturday, it's different. There's different pressures, Yeah, and I think guys like Quinton, Tiernis the Brain, Chad Bowes, a guy like Murray Coetzee, bowling to them at school cricket already changed the level of cricket you played at. So yeah, we were definitely fortunate to grow up in that era of schoolboy cricketers.
No, that's absolutely fantastic. Because like I remember running into bowl, and once a guy could play a forward defense, you're in for a long day.
100%.
So yeah, those are obviously exciting memories that we have. And your memories about KG Rabada when you were still at school.
No, I think KG is a world-class talent. I think he's a great guy. He cares about people. You can have genuine conversation. Even when he was young, he carried himself well. He always put the team first. He was a very selfless cricketer. I mean, it's no secret that he bowled as fast as he did. And I think with KG, he was always willing to learn. At his age, I mean, playing first team in grade 9, coming into a first team environment with the skills that he had, I mean, he always gave us the upper hand. But I think him as an individual, incredible. Willing to listen, willing to learn. Obviously, as a youngster, he didn't just come as a, how can I say, like, he didn't just come into the first team as a youngster. He came in and took charge from the get-go.
100%, yeah.
So yeah, I think his responsibility to what he does, he always puts the best in. So yeah, the experiences with KG tours and all that, they were awesome and will always go with me as great memories.
No, that's amazing, because I remember KG. I think I'm a year older than him, but he played a year above, and then after that CSA camp, it was an under 17 camp, and then they went on to obviously play first team forever after that. So that period of time again. I remember once we were at St. David's, so now you had Cares and you had Saints in, I think in our pool, if I'm not mistaken, because we were the KPT Lions, we were an invitational team, and we also had some of our own stars, which were awesome. And you would just know if you see red or white, that means danger. In the sense of Cares. And obviously Af is from Pretoria, but that's not what it's about now. When your time in England, I've seen some incredible stats here that shows you obviously, for Leinster cricket, your average is 257. Do you want to tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, obviously, my time at Gauteng was coming to an age, and I got an opportunity out of the blue. A guy by the name of Leonard Bester, which we all know as Pisang, a great cricketer, unbelievable striker of the ball, and he gave me a call and said, "Listen, are you keen to come to Ireland?" And I said, "Yes, no, for sure." And when I got there, I just landed in Ireland in 2 hours after landing, I played my first game.
Yes.
And I think the wickets were low. It was a bit tough, but I think my first game I got 8 LBW. They told me not to go back to the spinner. Went back, got LBW, and I think then we played on some tough wickets. But you just have to you need to find ways to succeed.
Yeah.
And I think the team I was playing for, Marion Cricket Club, unbelievable club still today, for me the greatest cricket club in the world. What they stand for, what cricket means to them, just develops passion in you more and more. And playing for them, there was John Anderson, Dominic Joyce, and just the likes of Thoms, and they would have gone on to play David Langford Smith, that played against South Africa in the Cricket World Cup, not sure which one, where he dismissed Jacques Kallis, Graham Smith, and Abby de Villiers in the same innings.
That's crazy.
So having guys like that in your team,
Yeah.
coming over as an overseas professional, it just makes things easier for you.
Absolutely.
It's like a dream. So it was unbelievable experience, and some great memories.
Speaking of club cricket, we're going to stay and we're going to come locally, UJ Cricket Club, and obviously you guys had a fantastic season, winning 2 trophies in 1 year, and you obviously, scoring 100. I just want to see if I can bring up that image.
So first, I just want to say, coming back to cricket in February, it was a while since. When I say that, I played for Dalforce Cricket Club, where we won the league. But I wasn't really playing. I didn't train. I wasn't into the game. A lot of passion and diet for cricket. As many people would know, I didn't really want to be talking about cricket. But then, a very special coach. Coach Sibia, I think, he basically changed my love for the game again. Just his caring ways, not always soft, but telling you the honest truth about where you're at. I miss that, just like we go back to Ray Jennings
again,
that
fatherly figure, tough.
But also like that, they know how to unlock the professionalism within you. They don't just tell you, they unlock it. They know how to implement it. And I think he really pulled some strings that I had. I think he brought out so much passion in me. By the time we played that game, it was more of enjoyment. I think when I looked up, obviously I was at a milestone of 100, but going back before that, I think I was struggling in the nets. I don't know what was going on. I couldn't put back to ball. I looked like I was going to get out every single ball. But I think just the mind switch, just sitting with Coach Sia and talking about stuff, and then going into the nets and working on certain things. I think he just knows how to get you to understand, and it just makes you want it. It makes you want to perform. And there was a special moment, because you pride yourself on with the runs you get, and big runs, and that was special. He had a big role to play in it. Just the way he allowed me to find my passion for the game, allowed me to back within myself. And I think going to the 50 over competition, where I think everything just clicked. The guy was joking and saying Coach Sia had called every moment, telling us this is what's going to happen, and it happened just as he called it. And I think going into the game, we had trust in him as our coach. The way we prepared, the way he prepared us, was exactly as the game went. It's just his class, the greatness he has as a coach. It just came through, and that's what made it such an amazing season for me to come back to cricket.
Shout out to Coach Sia. I think that those are attributes that makes you a great coach. Because if you can point out a few things that Ray Jennings possessed, back then, if he's doing that now,
100%.
what kind of coach? Because I don't think Ray is doing much coaching now. But at least knowing that, we can say we have somewhat of, a person that's going to instill professionalism,
100%.
love for the game, unlock potential, because that's key. You're a talented cricketer, but if they're not producing anything, and you're not able to tap into that as a coach and change them around, which is kind of the story that you and I shared, because I always believe that for you, that you can turn things around because you've done it so many times in cricket. That means you can do it in life. Because for me, cricket is directly translated to life. That's my favorite saying. Like you say, Coach Sia can call moments in the game. So if if you understand cricket on that level, then you'll know what I'm talking about. What can you share about club cricket 10 years ago versus now?
Sure. It's chalk and cheese, isn't it? Like, I think I was 15 years old. I was asked to play for Soweto Cricket Club at the time. And I mean, when you rock up to UJ, it's Brian Matabula running into bowl.
Yes.
And at that stage, you're not just a youngster. You're about to experience a new version of the game.
Absolutely. They're not going to be nice.
And obviously, being at Soweto as a youngster playing Premier League cricket, I think that opened my eyes a lot. And you grew as a cricketer.
Yeah.
You got to face Ethan O'Reilly, opening the bowling for the Lions, who bowled 140, I think, and swung the ball back at your neck. It wasn't easy. You got to grow and learn. I think Garnet Kruger, you got to face the likes of him, who was exceptional. A very quick ball, the heavy ball. At that age, the ball's hitting your back, your hands are vibrating. It changes you as a cricketer, and I think, and you will agree with me.
Yeah.
To play President's cricket was
privilege. Tough.
There's some guys that played at that level that you think to yourself, just to get 50 runs at President's cricket was something special.
Yes.
And if you look today, to play Premier League cricket is easy. I think that pride of Premier League cricket is gone. Even saying that there's so many people that are doing so much for Premier League cricket in Joburg. They look at Sammy Babulia, that guy's given heart and soul to cricket.
Absolutely.
Giving cricketers
Passion.
a platform to have Premier League cricket as it was.
Yes.
So if you look at your Sammy Babulia, he's providing that. So
it's always tough playing Mark's part because he kept that legacy.
And now he's with Khoza,
Yeah.
So when you play Khoza, the professionalism is
Same
there.
thing.
You're going to face the quality like bowlers, batters, So you have those individuals that, like Sammy, that will produce great Premier League competition. Unfortunately, you don't get it all the time. But I just think the difference between then and now would be, the level, would be like.
It's 2 worlds apart.
It's 2 worlds apart,
Yeah.
like to bowl to a Jean Symes in Premier League cricket was something special. The guy gets a 200, without breaking a sweat.
Yeah.
Or you play in the old days, the sun is baking. You can drive your car on that pitch to Bloemfontein, and Neil Mackenzie pitches onto that. It changes who you are as a person, as a cricketer, and it makes the game better for you.
And that's what I kind of enjoyed at that time. That's what kept me going. It's like, hey, one day you rock up, you play Temba Bavuma. Next day you rock up, you play Neil Mackenzie, or you play with them in Soweto.
100%.
Obviously, I'm not going to list all the clubs I played for, but I remember that time. It was always exciting to play against certain clubs and to play for certain clubs because of the players that were attracted to them. I want us to go and touch on why we're ultimately here. I want you to share the memories that you had back in 2012 at the ICC Cricket World Cup. And I want us to start with game 1. What do you remember about the Note for 25 in Brisbane?
So yeah, I think there was a warm-up game, if I'm
Okay.
not mistaken. Yeah, and I think it was we played at a university field against New Zealand.
Yes, yes.
So basically, it was just getting into the swing of things. And yeah, I think as a leg spinner, it's always your craft is either incredible or sometimes it doesn't come out as you want.
Yeah.
And I think in that specific game, the ball just wasn't coming out. You know, yeah, I think in my mind, I tried to be perfect. You know, I wanted to strive for perfection instead of enjoying the moment. You know, and I think I think that warm-up game. I think I bowled 3 overs.
Yeah.
I think the 1 over I got a little bit of. I think they sent me a bit, and I didn't get to bowl after that.
Yeah.
And that's what we go back to Ray Jennings. You know, you don't take your opportunity.
1 over.
Because one moment can change again, and that's what I loved. It brought out the fire in you, you know. So yeah, that was the start. It was great to have your country's shirt on your back, you know, to run out with us. I mean, Chad Bowles was our captain. I mean, Chad was unreal. Just something that I'll never forget. We had Cubs week, and KG asked me how good is Chad Bowles, and I explained to him. I said, well, look, Shane Murphy was quick, you know, and Chad was pulling Shane off the front foot. And KG said, okay, well, let's see if he'll be able to pull me, because I think KG realized how fast he really was. And yeah, Chad was pulling him off the front foot, and that was in the Cubs week. And I think to have Chad, our captain, opening the batting with Quinny, Tianis the Brain walking in at 3, Gian Clute at 4, Diego Rossi at 5, Shailen Pillay at 6, Murray Pitsia at 7. You know, with the all-rounded quality of Calvin Savage, Corne Dry, and then your out-and-out seamers in Vincent Moore, Salom Zingweni, and Jan Freiling, and then obviously one of South Africa's prime talents, Pranil Subran, the off spinner.
Yeah.
You know, a guy that can clear the boundary. So for me, it was confidence. You know, the guys I'm running on the field with, these are top quality. I mean, I think most of us have made our first class debut or even franchise debut before that.
Before that game, yeah.
So yeah, I think the confidence was there. I just think the ball wasn't coming out. But as I always said, the team comes first. So yeah.
Yeah, like I want to touch on, like, there's 2 things that we've been speaking about. Number 1, our Ray Jennings. I just want to make these points, put them out there.
Yeah.
Number 1, our Ray Jennings wins the World Cup and we never see him again. Pranil and Subraham barely played for the Proteas, I don't think, if ever.
Yeah, no, he's still yet to make his debut.
And I mean, imagine if he had done it a few years ago now. You know what that Proteas side would be looking like now. But happy with the Proteas side from my side in terms of having 8 batters, like proper batters batting in their positions. Because if we have to chase like 400, you know, you have the capabilities to do that.
100%.
And then you went on to play against Namibia.
Yeah.
What do you remember? Because obviously Jan Freiling was in our team at that time, but he became a Namibian cricketer afterwards. So anything you remember about those times?
Yeah, just remember we won the toss. I don't know if we won it, or sorry, if we won it or they won it, but we batted first.
Okay.
And I think Quinny got 100 and odd, Chad got 100 and odd. I think other guys chipped in with a 50 or 60. And I think Namibia was just defeated. You know, I think if I remember, they had 5 guys out on the boundary, and the ball was still sailing over the fence. So those were great memories. And then bowling wise, it was since that warm-up game against New Zealand.
Yeah.
I had the ball in my hand, and I'd be doing a lot of work with Henry Williams at the time. In the nets, he would give me a lot of advice and tell me how to relax in these moments. And no, I think I bought 10 overs, 1 for 23, which Namibia went into block mode, you know. And yeah, I think 10 overs, 1 for 23. I think if they were a bit more aggressive,
Yeah.
maybe I would have landed up with
No, but those are great returns. I mean, 2.3 an hour and one scalp, not too bad. And then you went on to play New Zealand again and you got 4 for 26.
Yeah, so we lost against Australia in the semi-final. A crazy moment. The fight the boys showed, just to see that group of guys, the emotion with it. Lazard Williams, that is an exceptional cricketer. To see the emotion in his eyes, what it meant to the guys. I think moving into New Zealand, it was basically we knew we deserved to win that World Cup. We just didn't do it.
Yes.
I don't think there was a team at that World Cup better than us. With humility, I say this. I think playing New Zealand, they'd beaten West Indies in the quarterfinal, a great West Indies team, and I think that West Indies team was earmarked to win the Under-19 World Cup that year. And they went on to lose to India in the semi-final. We got them in the in the third and fourth playoff, and I think our seamers just ran through the top, and then the 4 for 26. I think basically the backbone of New Zealand was broken, and I just came to finish the job. And batting wise, I think Quinny finished the game off in no time, and that was basically it.
No, that's fantastic. I just want to send a quick shout out to our sponsor, Coop Active, for all your active wear needs. Please have a look at their website. Bringing it up now. Just 1 second. Okay, I have to change that. Okay, nonetheless, please go to coopactive.com, and if you use the discount, the coupon rather, for a 10% discount, Sportscast ZA10, that will get you a 10% discount off your first purchase. Dave, I want to come a bit more closer to home and focus on what your upbringing was like and how the culture and your environment shaped you.
I think everybody that knows me would have known that if you saw me at the field, you saw my dad.
Yeah.
My dad his sporting knowledge is incredible. In his own right, he was a great athlete, a great rugby player. I think he had a big influence in my cricket. I think without him, there wouldn't be cricket in my life.
Yes.
He invested a lot of time, a lot of effort into me, and I'm very grateful for him. I just think my dad built a lot of things in me that you can't buy. You can't get it from a coach, from a teammate, from a game. Just going back to a memory, we were playing the Colts week
Yes.
in Potchefstroom, and I was playing for the Lions under 23, and we played against the Warriors on Picker's main oval, and Glenson Steelman was bowling, and the wicket was a good wicket for batters and bowlers, and Glenson Steelman hit a full length, and the ball took off and took my glove, and I got caught a gully. And my dad called me to find out how's it going, and I explained to him what happened, and just to show you his mindset, and he said to me, I don't think you're hungry enough, because if you were hungry enough, you would have been awake,
Yes.
and you would have been ready for what was coming. And that transition into, we played the night in the second 3-day game, and I got 149, and the wicket was unplayable. And it was just the things my dad instilled in me, the mindset, how to get yourself through tough times was amazing. It's invaluable stuff.
Yes.
So the culture, I would say, would be how to survive or how to thrive and succeed when the odds are against you. Early mornings, driving to Cays, driving to Saints, late nights, going home before I got into the boarding house. Just conversations about how you can be better.
Yeah.
all parents meanwhile, but I think with me, while my dad set me up for success, you know, the opportunities he provided for me, you know, I mean, having the best, the quality and stuff like that, you know, he really drove me to succeed and get to many of the places that I got to,
Yeah.
the upbringing, especially related to cricket.
No, that's fantastic. But there's something I want you to share with us regarding your dad and what he did for work. I find that super cool. If you'd like to just share with us what actual job was.
So my dad, obviously, when we were younger, he was working for South African Airways, you know, and yeah, he got to travel the world and see majority of the world. But yeah, planes was his passion, you know. I mean, a plane would be flying in the sky and he'll call the number plate, you know, 747-8 D7A4. I mean, you don't just know these things, you know, it takes passion and a love for something, you know. And yeah, aviation, and he went on to write a book called The 747, South African Airways 747 in Picture in Fleet,
Yes.
you know, so that was a part of his life at a stage, you know, before he moved on to do other stuff. But yeah, I think he's being exposed to those things maybe in his life. He got to instill it in me that there's greater things to work toward, you know.
Yes.
I think my dad grew up in Aldos, obviously, came from Aldos and literally took every opportunity he had and turned it into something great, you know. So no, he's definitely moments in my life where I'm like, I wonder what would have happened if he wasn't there,
Yeah.
you know. The stuff he achieved in his life, and you know, so yeah, I think that him traveling the world, his love for planes and aviation, and yeah, it was just, I think it all added to the impact that it had in my life.
No, that's crazy. The reason why I want you to mention that, I'm glad you mentioned the Aldous part, because I'm from
Yeah.
Aldous. And so it shows that, you know, if you have the vision or the exposure of what's happening beyond your boundaries, so to speak, you can tap into so much more, you know, out there. And yeah, that's just the reason why I wanted you to share that. Can you tell me what your earliest memory of playing cricket was?
I was at JP Prep, and there was a coach's name, we used to call him Steph,
Yes.
you know. I think he moved on to DHS, Durban Boys High School now. But we used to play cricket at break at JP Prep on the field, and I would run and I'd be interested in it. And he actually called me and said, if I want to play, we're having a game. And he said I need equipment, and he told me tiger pads, they were wool, you know, material,
wow. Okay.
and they had buckles. And
Yes.
these were the greatest pads in the world. Like, all I wanted were these pads. I think I was grade 1, and I played with the grade 4s and some grade 7s, so there's like a
Mixed
a
team.
mixed team.
Yeah.
And
Best of the best.
and yeah, I mean, that first traveling in a venture those days from JP to Alberton, playing the fixture, I think I got 1 run, batting at 11, being the youngest. I think I bowled an over, and yeah, that would be the earliest memory that I ever had. Walking with my bag, you know, there was just pride, there was honor, you know, it was my cricket bag, and you know, and I think that's the small little things that started in the beginning.
No, 100%. I remember those days. The first time I got a full cricket set, I will
Yeah.
never forget. My parents could afford to buy me at the time was Max.
Yeah.
And fortunately for me, they sold Reebok at the time,
Yeah.
Reebok bats.
Yeah.
And me knowing cricket, UV batted with Reebok at the time. So I was very satisfied. I might not have had the best first kit, but at least the bat would have done something. And your earliest memory in terms of when you played a professional game?
So my earliest memory would be I just matriculated, and I'd actually quit cricket. You know, I'd said I'm over cricket, I'm done. I'm gonna go study, get my degree.
So after under 19?
So before before under 19.
Oh,
So
okay.
as I matriculated,
Okay.
I called it, and yeah, I think that's why he also holds a special place, you know, in my life. This Ray Jennings called me and said to me, "What's going on?" You know, and I sort of, you know, I said to him, "I think I'm done. I can't go study." And like, he sort of said to me, "Don't stop now. Give it a go. And after the SA Academy, then make a call. Don't make it too soon." Because in my mind it was, sport doesn't really take you anywhere. You know, you either get the opportunity. If you succeed, it takes you somewhere. But if you don't, you land up in limbo. You know, but education will take you anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, you always have that education behind you. And I think I sort of had that in my mind, and I decided to listen and go to the academy in which I made the SA under 19 squad. But during that process, before we got to SA Academy, I played for Pirates. I made the move to Pirates Cricket Club, where I bowled 5 times, and the 5 times, I think it was 7 against JP, 6 against Leicester, 6 against UJ, 1 stick against Alberton, but bowled very well. And then I took 7 wickets first innings against Wanderers, and 2 in the second innings, which you need to take 5 wickets. And from there, it obviously set the tone. So I'd actually played for Gauteng Strikers, and I made my debut at Kingsmead,
Yes.
you know, which was something special. I played, I mean, my roommate was Shaheed Khan, who at the time was the greatest all-rounder in first-class cricket at that time, making his mark, you know, and I roomed with him. It was fantastic. Stephen Cook played, you know, a guy that you watched on TV
Yeah.
all the time. Timba Bavuma was playing, you know, the likes of Malcolm Nofo, who was 2 years before me, who played he played under 19. We played Cubs Week together, went to Cage together. So, yeah, to be on that same stage, that was the earliest memory of professional cricket.
Yes.
Bowling to Cody Chetty, you know, bowling to Gareth Roderick. No, it was just special.
No, that's yeah. She had such a, I won't say privilege, but like from my side, it's like I would have loved to have done that or gone on to do that, you know. But you know, God has plans for us in our lives. And then, who of your coaches really inspired you?
So it starts from small, you know, the guys who know, they know. There was a guy called, his name is Greg Palmer. He ran Bodyline Cricket Academy out of APN Cricket Club. And Greg, to this day, I think he's probably, if you're a youngster, one of the greatest coaches you can ever have. You know, playing for Greg was exciting. He taught us things about the game that you wouldn't know at that young age.
Yes.
Yeah, we play for Bodyline against other academies, and he just made the game fun, you know. I think all the cricketers that would have come through Bodyline and played for him and with him, you know, will have the same story. You know, I think Greg Palmer was a great inspiration in my young cricketing life. And then as we move on, you know, I sort of fell out of the game, and I was at Pirates at the time. This guy came to the club. His name is Arjun Menon. We call him AJ, and he took me one side. And
The Offie.
no. So Arjun was
Okay,
coach of
Arjun.
Botswana.
Oh, that's another agent.
Before that, he was working in Australia for Western Australia cricket, and literally he taught me everything I knew about leg spin.
Yes.
He would pick me up. He asked for no petrol. He picked me up. He would talk to me. He would encourage me and teach me about leg spin. I mean, I think that went on for 4 months. He would talk to me about the importance of bowling every day as a leg spinner, because it's about rhythm
It's about
and mouse.
perfection.
It's about perfection.
Yeah.
But he made it simple. You know, he gave me a manual for leg spin. He taught me the biomechanics, which started making things easier. And he taught me how to bowl a goopy. You know, because I bowled ladies, but I couldn't bowl a goopy. And he taught me all of these things for free. You know, a great person, a great individual. you know, and then we transitioned from there, and we meet a guy like Coach Kurt,
Yes.
who everybody knows as Shapey. Was a great cricketer in his time, a fantastic coach, and I say this because Coach Kurt understands players. You know, it's just not about the cricket, but he understands players and allows them to perform and be themselves within a team environment with having the team standards.
Yeah.
You know, so he gives the opportunity to you fairly, and he's a coach that his door is always open. You know, whether you're doing well or not, he's always there with information to give to you. You know, and if you look at the players that have come through Coach Kurt, they've always progressed to go on. You know, because of the care. You know, I think you come to find for coaches a lot is they'll take good players because they'll win and they'll look good as a coach. Where Coach Kurt, he went to Northcliffe and he found players at Northcliffe, and then Northcliffe was seen as a cricket school all of a sudden.
Yeah.
That's the quality of Coach Kurt, you know. And yeah, obviously he went on to achieve great accolades, and just the input he had in my life in a short space of time, you know,
Yes.
and he always unlocked the potential, you know. And then from a Coach Kurt, obviously we touched on Coach Sia,
Yes.
you know, and Ray James,
Yeah.
obviously at under 19 level. So those are basically the coaches for me that really impacted me, not just cricket wise, but in life as well,
Holistically,
you
yeah.
know, mindset wise and playing, and yeah, just tapping into the true player that you can actually become.
Yeah, no, those are incredible people, and obviously there's people we're not mentioning, I'm sure.
No, look, those are the only guys. I can tell you.
No, I know
Those are the only guys.
there's five or, you know, nothing
No,
more, nothing less.
The thing is, it's a coach is somebody that adds value in your life.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, it's on and off the field, you know. And you asked me which coaches had an impact. If there were more, I would have mentioned.
Yeah.
But those are the only guys that really showed care.
That, yeah, showed some significance in your life.
Exactly.
Do you have, like, if you had to list 5 of your most memorable moments in terms of milestones? Obviously, as a cricketer, we all know milestones are important. What would those be?
So, performance-wise,
Performance, most funny, you know, anything that would make a top 5 list that you could say, this kind of experience in cricket, you know, is right up there.
I would say number one, being kept to play for SA under 19.
Okay.
You know, that was something your money can't buy you that.
Yeah.
You know, because the only thing that was going through my mind was that Jock Cullis made his debut at Kingsmead.
Yeah.
A funny moment. There were many, you know. At Saints we had a fantastic first team cricket coach, Mr. Fergus Gray.
Yes.
And yeah, he was just hard as nails, you know. And he really developed our manliness. You know, instead of being boys playing cricket, we became men that
Yeah.
played cricket, you know. You know, he just instilled some disciplines that changed everything. Guys that came back late and they clocked into the boarding house late. And Mr. Gray like woken us up, and he had like myself and the senior guys in a questionnaire, and he was like so serious, and he's like, we have you on camera, and you know, like memories like that is something that will forever go with me, you know.
No,
Because in the same afternoon we played sax,
yeah.
you know, and he was like, if nobody comes up now, you'll go play the game with 6 guys,
Yeah.
even if they're all youngsters, you know. That was a memory that I will remember. Another one would be, I think in Ireland, our bus trip to Cork to play against Cork County. It was just, it felt like home, you know. Singing songs in the bus and becoming actually, because it was earlier on when I was in Ireland, and traveling on the bus, I think it was an hour out, and it just made me feel, you know those team moments,
Yeah.
you singing songs, everything is cheerful,
Yeah.
you know. And then a massive memory for me would be England. My first game there, I took 7 for 20, you know, and a cricket hero of mine would be Ian Blackwell.
Yeah.
At the time played for England and Somerset. He was playing, you know, and I couldn't believe he was at the same club I was. You know, and I got a bowling tandem with him.
That's
You know, I mean, even at that stage, he was unplayable.
Yeah.
You know, it was actually a joke. He was unplayable. So to bowl with him was a memory that will go forever. And then I think scoring 149 against Knights under 20, that was something special. So those are some of the memories.
No, those are excellent memories. I want us to touch a little on the advice that you have for youngsters playing cricket today.
Sure. I think it would be become the best you can be. You know, be selected on your ability. I think always make sure that your performances match your ability.
Yeah.
And when you are selected, it's on merit. You know, don't chase after things. Let your performances attract opportunities. That would be my own, because there are some great youngsters up and coming. I mean, you've seen as well. But I think that's it, is that they remain hungry, but they let their performances do the thing. That is scoring hundreds, making sure they're scoring regularly, you know, putting the numbers on so that when they're selected, it's well deserved.
Yeah, I think that's sound advice, because for me growing up, I knew, you know, someone's gonna get 100 today. Like that was just the era we grew up in, and that was the standard, that was the expectation. Is if you're not getting hundreds, you're not batting in any line. You know, so yeah, that I think super valuable advice. And then 2 more things. One, your most memorable quote.
Sure. I would say it's not a quote, it's more a quote, because it's something my dad quoted all the time to me.
Yeah.
By Rudyard Kipling, that if you can sit with the greatest of people and still remain who you are,
Yes.
and sit with the lowest of people and still remain who you are, then only have you become a man. You know, and I think it's the same in cricket. You know, if you're doing well and you're not doing well, you know,
You're
only
still
the same person.
Yeah.
You know, like, and yeah, I think that went with me forever, even unconsciously.
Yes. No, 100%.
But it speaks. I think that speaks to everything in life.
Yes.
And
No, that's another, you know, piece of advice that is absolute, that I resonate with, because, and that's why I asked that question, because as much for me as it is for anyone out there as well. So I enjoy quotes, you know, I'm always, you know, posting a quote or whatever. So thanks for sharing that. And then finally, what do you want to be remembered as?
so I'd like to be remembered as somebody that could have changed the game. You know, I think that's one of the things that aided me to play SA under 19 was if we were 36 for 6, I could get 100.
Yeah.
You know, if we needed 6 wickets and opposition could take those 6 wickets. So to be remembered for somebody that could change the game at any time.
And then in life in general,
Sure.
as a person,
I think it would be that I treated great people and people that are not so great, that I treated them with the same respect. I think
that's literally the short of your dad's poem.
100%.
Yeah, Davey, I want to thank you so much for doing this. What's crazy is that I always wanted to do this with you. And I've done 11 episodes now. But this is the first in this setting with the production that we have right now. So it kind of goes 360, and forever grateful to God. You know, one day your future generations can, when have a look at it and say, oh, that guy, that's what he's about. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel if you'd like us to, see more guests and do this more. So, Davey, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. It's really been a pleasure to be here.
Really appreciate it. Thanks, guys.